Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse and a counsellor. 20 years ago, I set up a project called Into the Light for other survivors to provide resources, support and information. As part of the project, we're making a short series of films about issues that touch survivors. In this film, we're going to be looking at betrayal and trust. If you've been abused by someone you trusted, you may well feel very betrayed, and that can have huge implications on your relationships today. And that's why it's important to look at the impact of betrayal. In films, when a character that you don't expect to betray another character happens, it often shocks us and can provide the most memorable part of the film. In real life, when we've been betrayed, that can lead to fear and avoidance of relationships and leave us lonely and isolated. Sadly, research shows us that most children are sexually abused by someone close to them, someone they know. Childline statistics from a few years ago say this: 59% of children sexually abused were abused by a family member, 29% by someone they knew, only 4% by strangers. Because of this deep betrayal, we can feel very suspicious of other people, and that can kill our desire for relationships and wanting to be close. Some of the ways this might play out is this: by fearing being close to people. Closeness feels very frightening, so we might keep people at a distance away from us. By being very suspicious of everybody, waiting to be betrayed, anticipating it, perhaps even finishing with a partner or a friend because you want to do it first, you want to keep the control. Also feeling attracted or sexual is confusing. Sex is associated with powerlessness and betrayal perhaps, and so to be attracted or close to someone sexually feels very dangerous. We can also enter over-vigilant and over-analytical behaviours, constantly over-analysing things, reading and rereading, trying to find out if that person is going to let us down, looking at a text 100 times, looking on Facebook many times. This is exhausting for us and also the other person on the other side of the relationship. We can also live in denial, living in partial truths and not what is actually happening, but just what our imagination is running riot and telling us is happening. So what are the ways out of feeling suspicious and hypervigilant and being isolated? Well, perhaps we have to allow trust to develop, and here are a few ideas you might like to try. First of all, and importantly, communicate. What are others really thinking? Not what we perceive they're thinking, but what are others thinking? A good way to start could be to join a support group where people are honest with each other. Secondly, recognise you're being suspicious. Recognise when you're doing it. When is it that you have to check your phone 6 or 7 times in an hour? Write down when you're likely to do it. Catch yourself out and notice patterns. Slow down. Before you react by sending that angry text or suspicious text back, try and slow it down. Breathe. Give your mind a few minutes to calm down. Try and replace negative thought patterns. Instead of going down the road of, my partner's late again, it's the 3rd time this week, maybe he's having an affair. Try and think about another way around this, communicating, asking him, could you tell me when you're going to be late this week? So that I can have an evening and plan my evening and relax and enjoy it as well. Think about what attributes you need in another person in order for them to be trustworthy for you. What is it that will work for you? There is another side though to being very suspicious and aware of others, and that's a plus side. After you've looked at perhaps some of the more extreme responses, you're actually left with someone who's a very sensitive person, aware of the needs of others, perhaps when others wouldn't be, and that's a very good friend to have. Learning to trust is a long road, So we need to start with small steps. Maybe even this week go out for coffee with a friend and share something that you hadn't shared before. These small steps can lead on to more major changes, a different kind of life, with more fulfilling relationships and a lot less loneliness.